everyone, and welcome to the Pikeville City Manager's Report. I'm Jill Farley-Dotson, your host for today's show, also Economic Development Director for the City of Pikeville, along with City Manager Philip Elswick.
Hello,
hey,
Jill.
Philip. It's been a minute since we've sat down and discussed some of the things that are going on in the city, and that means we've both been very busy.
Yes.
So we're
sure.
going to update everyone today on projects going on, some retirements that are happening,
Right.
some great projects that we can look forward to in the coming months, and then some events that everyone can put on their calendars in the coming months. But first, let's talk about some projects that have been going on for the better part of probably 4 or 5 months or so, and those are our pedestrian bridges. And there's been a lot of interest in when the bridges are going to be done, how long it's going to take for the repairs, and when will they be reopened. The good thing that we can report is that they are both now reopened.
Yeah, we talked about those several months ago about the need to repair them. And we awarded contracts for both of them. And there was, frankly, just a delay in getting the materials in order to make the repairs. But thankfully, that's all been done. And the bridges are back open. And there's a lot of people in town happy about that, especially bikers and runners that use those routes. So I'm glad they're back open.
I think what we found out when those two particular, the Poly Bridge being one of those, were closed, that so many people use that in their daily routine, whether they want to exercise, to run, walk, jog, or a lot of people prefer to walk to work, which I think is extraordinary, especially when the weather's nice. Then also the bridge, the 7th Street Bridge too, is heavily used.
Yeah, you really don't realize how much infrastructure is used until it's closed, and then you find out quickly. But those are back open. They're very safe now, and people are more than welcome to be on them.
Just in time to get out and enjoy the fall weather that we're all looking forward to. Some of the other things that it's just one of those necessities that causes sometimes a little bit of confusion or maybe frustration when you're out and about, are the paving and striping of streets. But it's certainly one of those necessary things that has to happen.
Absolutely. We assess our street system every year, really late spring, early summer, and we rate those streets based on their condition. And if they are desperately in need of being repaved, which we seldom have anything like that, or varying degrees of deterioration. And every year we pave the worst streets, and it always begins late October, early November. So we'll be starting that work shortly. It does sometimes create a little bit of frustration as you're trying to get somewhere. So just beware that we're going to be doing that work, and maybe give yourself a little extra time to travel for 3 or 4 weeks in October and November.
Yeah, just look out for that.
Exactly.
Also, we had some extensive paving that happened on 23.
We did.
Yeah. And
our paving will not be like that.
It will not be like that. It will not be. But do keep in mind that if you are traveling US 23 from main City of Pikeville exits toward the Walmart intersection, paving has started again there.
Yep.
So hopefully that will not take as long as the first project did, but just certainly be mindful of if you're traveling in that area. One of the other things that it seems that we have talked about for years is our Fiber to the Premise project, and that is nearing completion, and we're very excited to announce that connectivity.
We have talked about it for years, and that's been a very lengthy process and taken some time to get done, of course, but maybe 2 years ago now, we awarded a contract to Gearhart or Intermountain Cable to construct that network and then operate the network. So after some time and a lot of work on their part as well as the city's, they project connecting their first customers at the end of September, early October. They have a website that's open, gearhartfiber.com. You can go to that site and put your address, and it'll tell you if you're in the Phase 1 area, which most of Pikeville is in the Phase 1 area. And you can request service from that website. And then as soon as their customers come online, they'll be opening an office in town as well, with somebody there, 40 hours a week for customer service to make sure needs are met. So we're really excited about that project. I've talked to literally dozens of people in town that are really excited about that project. So we believe it's going to be very good. It just makes such a tremendous difference for economic development, really.
Absolutely.
In that so many people work from home now, and COVID kind of forced that trend to speed up a little bit. It was already starting, But now there's so many people that work from home, and it's so necessary to have reliable, high-speed internet. And we haven't had that for a while, at least not throughout most of our town. So, there are other providers that provide service as well, and those are all good providers. Don't mean anything demeaning toward them. But this will be gigabit service delivered to your door, and we believe it'll be very good.
You mentioned a lot of people working from home. On the same token, we have a lot of children that are working from home with homework and projects that they have within their classrooms and their school systems. So it is just vitally important that that project come to completion, or at least get that first phase finished. And I think everybody's going to be very pleased and see a big difference.
Absolutely. The project is meant to roll out in 3 phases. And phase 1 is most of the city. It's certainly the heart of the city, what we refer to as the horseshoe downtown area. And then phase 2 and phase 3 is more of the periphery of the city, I suppose. But we expect those to move very quickly after phase 1. And we're excited to get the project going and people to get connected to that service.
Absolutely. We appreciate all their efforts. We're going to talk a little bit about one of our departments within the city, and that is the fire department. Lots of changes and new things happening there. The first being that finally now that COVID is completely slowed down and we're able to get everything in place, the refurbishment and relocation, I guess, if you will, of Fire Station number 2, which is going to be located at Yorktown Landing next to Fazoli's, will start very soon.
It will. That project has been delayed because we sought some funding from USDA Rural Development, and we received over $800,000 from them. So it was well worth pursuing that, but it took a little longer than we anticipated. But we do believe we'll be beginning construction there within the next 4 weeks in the old Fastenal building on US 23 South. So that project should be coming online shortly, and it will replace an aging station that really doesn't necessarily meet the needs that we have as a department now. And that department, or that station, excuse me, will be transitioned into more of a maintenance shop storage area. So the fire department is excited about that new station getting open, and it's really important to have that station located further toward the periphery of town, on the south end of town. Right now there's some travel delay coming from Island Creek to, our city limits go all the way up to the new road at the industrial park at Sword Fork. So there's quite some distance there, and there's a number of accidents that happen up there, and lots of people that live in that area that rely on the fire department and the ambulance service. So we're relocating that to be more centralized in that area, which will better meet the needs of our residents and businesses.
It certainly will. The access point that they will be able to get on US 23 is much better. So looking forward to that. Something else that is happening at the fire department after 20 plus years of service, Fire Chief Patrick Bentley has decided to retire and enjoy some family time.
Absolutely.
So we're excited for him and his next endeavors, but certainly appreciative of his time, nearly 29 years, even including his volunteer service with the fire department. Yeah,
Chief Bentley has had a long storied career with the city of Pikeville and our fire department, and is just a top-notch, excellent EMT firefighter, and so many things have been accomplished in his 4 years as chief. But he has chosen to retire, and I wish him well. I don't blame him at all. We hate to see him go, but we're certainly excited for him for the next phase of his life.
And he'll be around. I'm sure we'll see him because he's a busybody. So we'll definitely see him after he retires, takes some time. We'll see him around about town, I'm sure, and certainly wish him all the best. He and his family. He has children that I'm sure are going to love some daddy time.
No doubt.
So we're excited for Packy and Robbie and their girls. But with that comes the replacement and the selection of a new fire chief to lead our fire department over the next few years.
Yeah, we've done this a little differently than we have in the past, but we opened this externally for outside candidates from our fire department. And we advertised that really truly nationwide, and we received approximately 40 applications plus or minus. Some extremely well qualified people from across the country, one individual as far as Hawaii. and some others, Texas and Kansas, areas like that. So there's widespread interest for this position, and we will be doing interviews in September over the next couple of weeks, actually, and we hope to have someone named by October 1st.
It's a long process.
It has been a long process and tedious, but the good news is there are excellent candidates, and it will not be an easy choice by any means. All of them are well qualified as a firefighter and an EMT, so it's just kind of weeding through the details, I suppose, for lack of a better word, to determine who best fits the needs of our department today.
Certainly. Looking forward to welcoming someone new
Absolutely.
to the city of Pikeville. Yep. Let's talk a little bit about the Appalachian Center for the Arts. We mentioned Chief Bentley's retirement. We also have a new person in charge at the Appalachian Center for the Arts after Robin Irwin has taken another position out of state.
Yep, Robin relocated closer to her hometown, and I guess that's the first time she's been that close to family in 30 plus years. So we hated to see her go, of course, but we wish her well there. She will be an asset to that theater and do great things there. Her husband, Eric Buckley, he'll be here till the end of the year, kind of serving as an interim executive director. And we have named Shannon Kirkpatrick Daniels as our new executive director. And she and Eric are working collaboratively now, and then in January she will take the reins as the executive director. She's been with the theater for several years, well aware of the history and the intent that the commission has for that theater, and has done good work there, and she has many great ideas for what she wants to do in the future.
She does. I was just speaking with her yesterday, and she has a whole list of things that she wants to start, from arts and education to art nights that folks can participate in. Not, you don't have to go act or be part of a production. You get to go enjoy creating art, which is something that is on the forefront of everyone's mind for that particular district. So we look forward to having Shannon in that role, and hopefully everybody will get a chance to meet her and enjoy her talents. I did mention that along with that, arts and education is so important to us, and the Appalachian Center for the Arts sits in the heart of our creative district, and that is something that we've worked on for really since COVID, as people get out and enjoy the walkability of town and enjoy more family-oriented activities. Our creative arts district started with a painting of a mural by some students at Pikeville High School and the elementary school as well. But now we have a banner project that is an extension of that. And if you're in the city park, you can see some of those banners that our kids have done.
You can. A few weeks ago, we unveiled those, and they're sprinkled throughout the city park. And it's just amazing to see the talent that kids have here locally. And we are extending that to adults shortly. And those banners will be placed on the boulevard.
They will, and that's one of the things that if you travel to other towns, we like to travel there and get ideas. This is a project that we saw in another community and thought, what a wonderful way to bring arts and education to our downtown, plus get our kids involved. And you always know that if you get the kids involved, you get the parents involved, you get the grandparents and the rest of the family involved. So it really just creates a sense of community for downtowns and our small towns like Pikeville, and certainly throughout our region as well. We had, I believe, over 60, maybe close to 70 applicants, and there were a number of kids chosen to put those. We have a top 5. Those top 5 banners and the winning banner are also blown up into a larger display and are placed in our alley, which you can go by and get a closer look at. But if you are in town and you want to travel through the park and take a stroll, I know my kids have absolutely loved seeing all the art, seeing some of their friends' art in there. To take a chance to do that, because it is just truly, it's amazing the art that our kids have produced.
It is. This concept of a creative arts district is really new to us. But in the past 2 years from COVID, it's really gained a lot of steam, and you're seeing a lot of public art in the downtown area. We saw pop-up art on the plaza where people were learning to paint or basket weave. There's the shops at 225, which have an artisan type feel to them, upcycled the same way. So that's been successful, in my opinion, and we look forward to that continuing to grow. And you referenced Art Alley. that was previously Umbrella Alley, and the umbrellas are still there, but there's a growing collection of art there, excuse me. And then in the app across the street, we'll be starting to install some art in the gallery space on the second floor. And in talking with Shannon recently, she indicated she wants to have a new art exhibit every month. Mm-hmm. So that's exciting to see what's going to come there. So it's really been a positive thing.
Yeah. If you attend the app frequently or are in downtown, just keep note to Facebook and this show and some other opportunities, because there are going to be some really fun projects and things that are going to come up in the next little bit that you and your children are definitely going to want to participate in. And all of that really lends itself to what we are trying to do with our tourism department. Bringing people into town and letting them enjoy the art, enjoy what tourism has to offer, and then all of that falls under economic development. Because if you bring people in, they shop, they eat, they stay. Live, play, work is what we always have said is the most important part of what the city offers. So our tourism department has been very busy. Just got back from the state fair recently and had a wonderful opportunity there to show what Pikeville has to offer and invite guests to come and join us.
Sure. We started attending the state fair, I believe, in 2019. And that's been very successful. You meet so many people that maybe haven't been to Pikeville in 20 plus years, and they see photos and they talk to our people about the way Pikeville has changed. And so many of those people come back, and they are so impressed with the way Pikeville's changed over that time. And it really has. It's transitioned entirely over the last 20 years. So it's been a good way to make people aware of what's happening here and get them to come back, and then they tell their friends and neighbors and family. So tourism's doing quite well. And you reference economic development, and I contend that everything we do is economic development. Every action we take has some impact on this community, attracting businesses, attracting visitors that bring money from the outside in here. It doesn't necessarily have to be a new factory at the industrial park.
That's right.
Or 50 new jobs at the industrial park to be economic development and have a significant positive impact. And I believe we're doing a lot of really good things to continue to improve our community and our attractiveness of our community.
One of the most attractive things that we have that we really now are starting to capitalize on is our location where the Breaks Interstate Park is concerned, with a new road soon to be completed. The travel time from downtown Pikeville to the gate of the Breaks Interstate Park will be reduced tremendously. Right. So we now have entered into a partnership with the Breaks, and we're calling it Breakville, and start to really promote that, staying in Pikeville, traveling to the Breaks, staying in the Breaks, traveling to Pikeville.
Right. We had a consultant that prepared a feasibility study for us about combining our efforts for tourism. And there were a lot of really good ideas that came from that. Breakville was one of them. Not just marketing the Breaks or Pikeville, but market them collaboratively. And that certainly catches your attention when you see that billboard or you see that signage. So that was one thing that came from that, but also the need for a disc golf course. And based on this individual's research, there is so much potential for that, in that there are tournaments across the country every weekend or something, and there's none east of Lexington. So there's real potential there. The same thing with indoor rock climbing. That's becoming a big activity at the park. People climbing. We don't have anywhere for people to learn to do that, for training and things of that nature. So we're looking at a way to construct an indoor climbing wall for training and just, something to do. Yeah, fun. Yeah.
You travel to a lot of different areas that within their entertainment venues, they have rock climbing walls. I was just at the University of South Carolina recently, and in their student center, right in the middle, they have a place where you can do rock climbing or wall climbing. Yeah. And I thought, well, how interesting is that? But you have people that are, enthusiasts of that type of activity, and then you have kids that are just really looking for something to do that's adventurous, that may not want to go out and scale the side of a mountain, but they certainly would try their hand at that type. of activities. So
Another component we're looking at in that partnership is a kayak park, which will be constructed in the river as a training facility as well, because it's meant to train people for the breaks where the whitewater is quite dangerous. So it's kind of a training ground, but it's also it can host tournaments and activities of that nature. So we're exploring that idea now, looking for a place that maybe we could locate that. So that came out of this report as well. So many really good ideas.
Absolutely. One of the other things that has been a tremendous idea and something that I enjoy and I know a lot of friends enjoy is our Storybook walk at Bob Amos Park.
Right.
We opened that up a month or so ago, a partnership with the library that has just been a delight to take part in.
To my knowledge, this is really our first partnership with the library district, and it has been a pleasure to work with them. This story walk is located along a trail that was, it's a handicap accessible trail, very flat, paved, and as you walk down the trail, you can read pages of the book, and it's really a cool concept. And that book is going to change, I think, seasonally, if not more frequently.
Right.
But I have, just in what limited time I'm in the park, through the week, I've seen so many people on that trail or parking to go to the trail. So it's been a great addition to Bob Amos Park. And, it serves a number of purposes, health and wellness, but also literacy and just spending time with your kids and being outside.
Family time. And also at the end of that trail, there's a gazebo that has a lot of tourist information.
Right.
There are picnic tables that you can take a backpack, take your snack in. And it just creates, not only you said literacy with family and their children, but also a sense of health. There's such a health component to it. And it will tie into the rest of our trail system at Bob Amos Park, which is really a win-win for everybody. And that's the next thing I want to talk about is our new Hatfield Mccoy Trail, the real Mccoy, as they call it. That name was adopted by our by PJ and his crew, who has hand dug a trail.
They have.
An additional 4 and some odd acres, or miles rather, for people that really want to get out and challenge themselves.
Yeah, everything I've heard about that trail has been extremely positive. Actually, no negative comments. And it's been used widely by people, and you see photos posted on Facebook and Twitter and things of that nature. That's the newest trail in our system, and PJ is investigating other trails, and you'll see those coming online as well. We have some really big ideas for our trail system that won't be easy to accomplish, but nothing we do is easy to accomplish. So we're really excited about that, and we recently had a trail rider specifically here in town on that trail, and from what I'm told, he was extremely impressed. So we should get some very good positive publicity from that.
I think so. And as we enter the fall months, when all of the colors start to change, I imagine that PJ's desire to have more traffic on those trails to pack down the foliage will happen, because it's you don't have as much wildlife, you don't have as many what I call just the creepy crawlies, the snakes around. So I anticipate there being a lot of activity in our park system over the next few weeks.
I certainly hope so.
Economic development is continuously busy. Like you said, everything we have falls under economic development, and the office stays extraordinarily busy with a lot of different projects, with people looking to locate businesses, trying to recruit businesses, not only to the industrial park, but to our restaurant industry. Our hotels is something that we're working diligently on. One of our projects, though, that everybody seems really excited about and has enjoyed visiting are the shops at 225. Which is meant to be a business incubator for 18 months to help people who have thought they wanted to get in business, try to, get their feet wet, so to speak.
We are nearing the end of that 18 months for this first group of businesses. It has, and it's been very successful. And we're beginning to see businesses cycle out of that space and move to new locations. And we have a couple of businesses now that are looking for a location downtown. And we are looking for new tenants. So if you want to start a business with the intent of moving out into a brick and mortar location at the end of 18 months, then please contact us. The goal is not to just provide you a space and labor to have your business. The goal is to learn how to operate a business and then move out and do that. So Minta Trimble's heading that up, the Main Street director. Certainly contact you at the Office of Economic Development. But if you are interested in that, please contact us soon as we're looking to fill spaces.
We've had a lot of inquiries in the last little bit since posting that there is space available. Of course, there's an application process that you must fill out. Targeted businesses are what we look for the most. So unique opportunities, retail, whether it be art, whether it be home goods, whether it be clothing or handmade products.
Sure.
Just fill out a contact Minta. You can stop in the shop. So like you said, contact my office and get an application and then go through the process.
Yeah, it's in the heart of our creative arts district. So artisan related businesses are certainly attractive to us, but a whole host of other things, as you mentioned.
One of the things that we've used the shops for too is the landing point and the hub for a lot of Main Street events, be it a girls' night out that we've had, Hippie Fest that we'll talk about in just a few moments that is coming up that has really just grown by leaps and bounds. So we're excited about that. And we'll give you a couple dates in just a few minutes about what you can expect. Also, a new addition to our Economic Development Office, which I'm really, really excited about, I know you are too, is our newly hired Business Retention and Expansion Manager, Lisa Sizemore.
Yeah, Lisa's been with us a couple of weeks, and has come with a lot of passion for economic development, for existing businesses, and finding ways to help them and to grow their business. And she's beginning a new program this month, Food Truck Fridays, where we'll be taking an area of town, I believe it's on Main Street, in the parking lot there, that throughout the day we'll have food trucks, different ones, hopefully every time. But those are the 16th and 30th of September and the 14th and 28th of October. So, one of the not complaints, but comments she's received is it's really hard for people that work downtown that have a limited amount of time for lunch to find lunch in the downtown area. So this is a way that we're trying to meet that need for people, but also it's a way for those food trucks to possibly grow into a brick and mortar location. So there's a multitude of purposes in this, but I'm excited to see how it plays out.
There really has been such a wide range of interest in food trucks since the pandemic itself started. When people didn't really want to go into restaurants to sit down, or they didn't have outdoor space to sit. So you had food trucks locating in these empty parking lots or designated areas of different communities. And we have also investigated the different communities that have things like this and have tried to model this project after them. I think it's going to be a tremendous success. Like you said, it's going to be a couple months to start. We're going to see how it goes. But she has had so much interest from the food truck community, and I anticipate it being a continual project that we have. Lisa comes to us from the education field, almost 20 years in education. So she is an organizer. She is a people person. She, like you said, has a passion for economic development, for businesses, and just for people in general. And I think she's going to fit this role perfectly.
Part of this business retention job is truly education related, where you're helping people, you're communicating with them, getting them to understand. So I believe Lisa's a really good fit. She's extremely energetic and passionate about what she's doing, and that's will make great leaps and bounds.
Yeah, we're just really excited to have her as part of our city family. One of the things that everybody looks to this show for is to get out their calendars and mark dates for the next few months. And certainly this is the point to do that, because there is something going on every day and certainly every weekend. Never a lack of things to do. I always tell people, if you say there's nothing to do in the city of Pikeville, you may be under a rock, because there definitely is, not only with what we have in the city, but what's going on with the university, the high schools around the area. There is always something to do, and it's usually entertainment related.
It is.
So our festivals that are coming up, we just recently, Moonshine Music and Makers, second year of that festival. Still a growing festival, something that came out of discussions during our quarantine with COVID. So we're looking to see that expand even in the coming months. September, Oktoberfest coming up in October.
October 1st. It'll be on the plaza at the arena. And that is a very successful event. It tends to grow every year. So I'm sure this year will be no different.
No different. WWE coming back to Appalachian Wireless Arena, always a well-attended, fun show.
Really is.
Lots of kids and kid-like adults that like to enjoy that show. Hippie Fest, project of our Main Street group. It will be our retail gating that we normally have, going to be on October 22nd, and that is going to be a day filled with all kinds of fun from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. at night. We'll have wine tastings, also different things. All the retailers bring their products out on 2nd Street. Division Street will also be another location where you can do some art. I hear we're going to have some paint slinging, which is going to be a lot of fun. I want to participate in that. And then a beautiful peace sign made out of flowers is going to be in the courthouse lawn. Nice. So that's going to be a great picture opportunity, as much of our downtown area is. Then, of course, one of our favorite events that we have every year, Nightmare on Main.
Yep, Nightmare on Main will be on the 27th this year. And the last couple of years, or especially through COVID, I guess 20 and 21, we made that a drive-through event, and it went extremely well. The people that are there with handing out the candy, they enjoy that, being outside, and it tends to just move faster, to be honest about.
It's long, but it does move faster.
So that will begin at 6 o'clock on the 27th. We'll follow the same process we have in the past. You will need to get in line for that on Hambley Boulevard toward exit 24 near Fire Station 3. And then that traffic will move down the boulevard and through town, and we're looking forward to it. That's always a fun event.
Yeah, contact Kevin Roberts if you would like to have your business participate in that and get all the particulars that you will need to know. And certainly our social media will have all the information that you need to get in line and where to get in line for that really fun night. Also, Trick or Treat this year going to be on Halloween.
It will. That's a Monday night. It'll be from 6 to 8. It's rare that we're able to do that on Halloween, so that's kind of a cool thing. And
then the Southern Circuit of Independent Films, in conjunction with UPIKE, is something that we're working on with the app.
The app is doing that in conjunction with UPIKE, as you mentioned, and those are the first Tuesday of every month, and it was very well attended. So that's it'll be interesting to see how that grows.
Yeah. And then the last thing we'll say about the app, they still have a lot of shows coming up. Rocky Horror Picture Show, October 14th, Murder and Merriment, Holly Jolly Homicide. That's an interesting name. Will be the Christmas or December, I should say, holiday production. And then for all of us that love Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, going to be December 9th through the 14th.
Yeah, Holly Jolly Homicide is our mystery theater.
Right.
So that's at the Overlook. And then Rudolph I think starts on the 9th of December. So yeah, there's a lot of good things going on.
Like I said, there's always something to do. If you say there isn't, then you're under a rock.
That's right.
Speaking of rocks, we will have another opportunity coming up. It's going to be, this is a little teaser, rock painting for the kids. We'll post that on social media coming up very soon. So one of those great opportunities for art, for families to get together, and certainly for a little bit of activity in our downtown area. That's your tease. Going to be a lot of fun. We do want to invite everybody to our open commission meetings the 2nd and 4th Monday of every month, 6 o'clock at City Hall.
Yep, absolutely. You're always welcome.
Lots of information. So, Philip, thanks so much for sitting down and letting everybody know what's going on, and we'll do this again soon.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
This has been the Pikeville City Manager's Report. Thank you so much for joining us.